Hello, my name is Samar. I also go by Sam or First Time Panner. Any of those you want to call me, you can. This will be my March 1 palette 2 looks video, and it will be with the Huda Beauty Naughty Nude palette. Again, I feel like I've said this every time I featured anything from her brand in the past like 4 months, unfortunately. She said she's no longer making these large palettes, but you know, that's not what this video is about. This video is about taking things that I already have in my collection, rediscovering them, or just letting myself play with these eyeshadow palettes, especially because I already pretty much have set eyeshadow palettes that I'm working on for this entire year, and I want to, you know, get use out of the rest of my collection. And I've picked 12 palettes, one for each month, where I'm going to be doing this series each month. I just like never know where I'm gonna end the sentence. I also have a little cat fur in my lip gloss that I just can't get out because I don't want to ruin my lip makeup. So it might be distracting me a little bit. And I just got a text and my cats are in my room. I'm just getting it all out of the way in the beginning. I have my window open all the way. You can already hear people in the background. My cats just really wanted to be in the room with me while I was filming. And I can't really say no to them, but they also wanted to look out the window, so I have my window all the way open. If the background noise is extra loud, if you hear people talking, if you hear jets in the background or sirens or birds, literally right as I hit record, they stopped, but they've been very loud. It's still pretty early in the morning. So sorry about all that. But as I was saying, yeah, I will be doing this every month. I did have someone pick my February palette, so you should go check out all these videos. I'll have the series in the description box or at the end of the video. And if you have any specific palettes that you would like me to do for the series that is not already in a project or has not already been in a project this year, just let me know and I will definitely do it. But getting back to this month's palette, this is what it looks like. I'm sure you've probably seen this before. Mine, I did take out that, I think it was called Slippery. Yeah, the Slippery shade. It doesn't gross me out or anything. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it looks like a petri dish or petri dish, however you pronounce it. I don't care. I work in a lab. I touch things that are much more disgusting every single day. So yeah, none of that has ever grossed me out. But I was scared of like real life germs. I didn't want it to mold. Basically, that was a cream shadow and I bought this last year, I think. Maybe, I don't even know. Maybe in 2023. I think it was 2023 actually. But and even then it was not a brand new palette, so I didn't know how old that shade had been sitting in the palette, and I was just like, if I'm not even going to use it that much because I'm not into eyeglasses, I'll take it out. I don't know why I had to go through that entire history of my palette, but this is what it looks like. I pretty much have an idea of the 2 looks that I want to do. I know I definitely want to do one warm tone look because I feel like almost all the shades in here are cool tone, like rosy cool tones, but there are a few warm tones and they're some of my favorite shades in this palette. So one warm tone look and then the other one I'll just kind of wing. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that one, but I'll start with Milani eyeshadow primer as always. I usually also put my eyeshadow primer like on my outer corner, like right here in the crease, and then also on my lower lash line, but I will be washing this off pretty much immediately after I stop filming, so I'm not really gonna bother with that today. And I do have my dirty brushes here, so I'm just gonna clean these off really quickly. And I'll start with a warm tone look since that's the one that I know that I'm gonna do, but it is gonna get messy. Luckily, I don't have to wear this out, but I'm gonna start with this, the warmest shade in the palette, which almost leans orange, I feel like, on me, and it's called Arouse. I'm just gonna take this larger brush so it's faster. Again, I don't need this to look perfect, but I'm just gonna put it all over my eye. And yeah, it's definitely orangey, which I don't have a problem with. That's my favorite color. But I'm just gonna put this all over. That was so quick because I was using a large brush. And then I'm gonna put a little bit just on my lower lash line, so it's just kind of like everywhere. I did just jam the brush into my eye, again because I'm using a large brush. The consequences of my actions. But that shade is done, and it just blended so easily. Like, I didn't even set my eyelids, like I didn't set my eyeshadow primer with anything, but still nothing was like patchy, nothing was skipping. I just love these eyeshadows, the quality. I'm so sad they're being discontinued. Moving on, I'm gonna use this deep-ish brown shade here called Hard. It's the only cream to powder in this palette. I do like cream to powder shades. That's my favorite eyeshadow formula. But I'm just gonna put a lot on my brush and go in the outer corner and try to like keep this, even though I'm like trying to buff it in or like stamp it in because it's a cream to powder, I'm gonna try to keep it pretty concentrated on like the outer third of my eye. And then I can never get my eyeshadow like down to my lash line, but I have a specific brush to do that later with. So something like that, as Sophie Alexandra says, I love her channel. Then I'm gonna take this super like tiny pointed brush from Dose of Colors. It's the pencil brush. And I'm just gonna take that same shade and just like get it right onto my lash line. This is what, ever since I discovered this like a few days ago, I don't know why it took me so long to realize I can just do this. I have not had that problem. I can always get my eyeshadow right on my lash line. And then I also do the exact same thing on my lower lash line. I'm sure this face just looks so good in the camera. But those are the mattes, or like matte cream to powder shades done. My final shade is the one that's going to be messy. There's going to be quite a bit of fallout. You'll see. So I like to use this shade called Flower Power here. It's actually like a super, it's weird. In the pan, like before I swirled it for the first time, it kind of just looked like yellow and white. And then when you swirl them together, you're like, oh, it's a gold. But it like looks so powdery. Oh, it actually looked really nice in that swatch. But basically, it's like when you actually put it on your, you'll see, when you put it on your eye, it looks super powdery and dusty. But when you buff it in, it just gives this super beautiful, like sparkly, ethereal look. Most of it did dust away. You couldn't really see it on camera, but pretty much most of it dusted away and just left this sheen of sparkle. And that's what I always do whenever I use that shade, whenever I do a warm look. So I'm gonna take the densest brush I have, which unfortunately is this big one, but I'm just gonna like kind of shove it into the shade and buff it into my eye basically. And yeah, it's gonna create a lot of fallout. I usually do my eyes first so I can just wipe it away, but it's gonna stay on my face for the rest of the video after this. But I just kind of like press it in and I like really scrub it into my eye. I'm trying not to lean forward, but I feel like I always like in every single video I just get closer and closer to the camera. Yeah, this is pretty much like, this is all I do. And it's so pretty. It's getting a little bit messy because I'm using a huge brush. Ideally you would use, or I would use, a small dense brush. I couldn't be bothered to get one today, but yeah, all I do is I just buff it in and it just leaves a really pretty wash of sparkle on my eye. I don't know if you can see all of the fallout. It is crazy. It's like going all down the side of my nose. That's my fault. I'm gonna see if I can like powder some away really quickly. It didn't work, but that is what it looks like. And I'm gonna do eyeliner and mascara and be right back. I just did that thing where I line both of my eyes. I just can't be a professional YouTuber. So this is what it looks like, the finished product. I just really like this look. I mean, other than like all the fallout and the fact that it kind of got everywhere because I was using such a big brush. But I really shouldn't have. What a trash video. Sorry. But other than that, I really do love this look. I feel like these three shades that I just used specifically, when I originally got this palette, I felt like they were the three most lackluster or like least exciting shades for me. Especially the last one, Flower Power, because I was like, well, it just looks dusty. Because the first time I used it, I had just like put it on my eye and I was like, what is this white dust doing just all over my eye? But all of these three together, I just absolutely, I don't know how many times I can say it. I love the look. It just looks so pretty, and if it looked a little more put together, it would just look like this super subtle, like effortless look that really brings out my features again because I have warm undertones. So yeah, I think it looks great. But now on to the second eye that I've already lined with eyeliner. But time for a cool tone look. And I think I actually am going to kind of like set my eyeshadow primer, but mostly because I'm thinking of going in with a dark matte, and I want to try to use this shade, oops, sorry, this shade Hypnotic, to kind of just like mute everything a little bit. It's pretty much the exact same shade as my skin tone, so it is darker than what I would usually use to set my eyeshadow primer, because I like to use something a tiny bit lighter than my skin tone to set my eyeshadow primer, because it makes everything pop a little bit more. But this is mostly just like to mute things, so I don't know why I had to talk about that. I'm gonna use Untamed here and just again kind of put it all over my eye, just like I used that first orange shade here. I am going to use the smaller brush. I feel like I might have learned my lesson. Again, I could feel myself like hunching over. I'm trying to work on my posture still. It's hard. And I'm gonna take just the same brush to go on my lower lash line. Hopefully it works out. I can't see what I look like in the camera right now, but it's probably crazy, I'm sure. That's actually so pretty. I feel like I would also just go out with this, like on both eyes, of course, but yeah, I really like how that looks. That's a pretty shade. And I feel like it goes well with this brown. Now it's time for some NYX glitter primer. Sorry if you can hear those people outside. I feel like I really want to go in with the shade Desire. It just, I think, I'm imagining it would go very well with the shade that's on my eye. So I'm gonna put it all over my eyelid. Ooh, that is pretty. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it really just like as soon as I put it on, it was kind of just soaking into the color behind it. I was right. Even that is so pretty that I would go out just like this. Okay, so you're getting like 5 looks in one. I think I'm gonna take this shade Shameless right here. It's like kind of a pink topper. I don't know how much the undertones would go exactly with this look, because this is kind of like a bright bubblegummy pink, and this is like a cranberry red. I don't know, but I'm gonna take some of my finger and kind of just dab the excess off onto the back of my hand, and then on top of that I'm just gonna tap it just to see what that does. Okay, it's not like too opaque, so we'll put some more on, and I'll try to keep it on like the first third of my eye. Oh, I got a little bit on my lower lash line. You know what, maybe I should put just a tiny bit in my inner corner. Okay, the people outside are starting to get a little bit crazy. I don't know why, because it's like 9 a.m. on a Wednesday. Since I already got some shadow on my lower lash line, I'm gonna take this pencil brush to kind of just continue things. I'm gonna take that same Shameless shade that I put in my inner corner and like the first third of my lid and just put it kind of like a mirror where it is in the top lid but on the bottom lid. And then the same with that first lid shade, Desire. I'm gonna put it just lightly right here, and then I think that's the look done. I would have liked to put something in my inner corner, but I like, for my skin tone, I don't really have an inner corner shade in this palette, and I don't want to like reach into something else because I feel like that goes against the point of this video. Sorry. I've been trying to ignore the people outside, but it's just kind of getting a little silly. That's my property manager, by the way. Even though I already have brown liner on this eye, I think I'm gonna do black liner and black mascara instead. So I'll put that on and be right back. Here's that finished look. I wasn't gonna do an eyeshadow wing or eyeliner wing, but then I got so much mascara on my lash line that I was like, it just looks crazy. I need to cover it up. So this is what it looks like. I'm not, sorry, they're still out there. Okay, I had to shut the window because they were starting to get a little bit explicit, and I'm not trying to get flagged. But yeah, I'm not gonna do one on this side because I think it looks perfect the way it is already, but I do like the way it looks on this eye. And yeah, I really like both of these looks in general. I usually like the way all of these like one palette two looks come out because it's just like fun and creative. I always know I'm gonna wash it off at the end anyway, so I kind of just get to do exactly what I feel like doing in the moment, and it's really fun. And I really enjoyed this month's palette. Again, the Huda Beauty, I want to say Pretty Grunge, Naughty Nude. It says it on the cover. I don't know. Hopefully I will have taken pictures of both of these looks, so you'll be seeing them on the screen now. Fingers crossed. But again, if you have any requests of any palettes that I have in my collection already that is not already currently or has been in a project this year, please let me know. I will definitely put it in some month throughout the year. I'll probably, if you request it under this video, I'll probably do it for next month. That's what I did last time, but I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. I hope you have a great day. Bye.